Hey guys, Casey here once again. We finally made it to Friday. For those of us that are still working right now, we've made it to the weekend. A few more hours and we'll make it through. Thank you for taking the time out to click on this video and watch it. I'd like to say, first off, if you have not subscribed to our church's YouTube channel, please do so. And if you'll click the notification button down there, that will send you notifications when there are more videos uploaded. And it gives you an opportunity to see those when they are uploaded. I'm going to talk about today. I had a completely different thought about sharing with everyone today until I was on my way to work this morning. I had to stop at a local store and pick up some material for work. And when I got there this morning, I got my stuff and I was fixing to leave and pull out. And I was sitting in the parking lot. And as I was waiting for this lady to pull through, for those of you that know, I pull a trailer with me everywhere I go. And I was waiting for this lady to pull through so I can pull out without her having any trouble getting in there. Well, I was parked right in front of her store that she owns, and I know of the lady, and I was parked there and waiting for her to get through, and she looked at me and stared me down with this awfulest look like I was doing something horribly bad and wrong because I was parked in front of her store. But little did she know I was waiting for her to get through to allow her ease of access to get there. And it made me begin to think of different things, and you know, we're living in some crazy times, and everybody's anxiety is up a little bit and nervous just a little bit, and we need to try to give everybody a pass and just give everybody a freebie, if you will, for doing some mean things or crazy things, because usually when everybody's anxiety would be a 3 or a 4 on a normal basis, you know, everything has got it ramped up to a 6, 7, or an 8, and everybody's on pins and needles and don't know which way to turn. And it made me begin to think about different things. And as I was sitting there and this woman staring me down, making faces at me, I just sit there and I begin to think about, many of y'all probably heard the song from the late 1980s by Bobby McFerrin, I think it was. He sung that song, "Don't Worry, Be Happy." And when that lady looked at me, I actually looked that song up just to listen to it, just cause. And there's a pretty good point in that. And he said, "Don't worry, be happy," and you know, no matter what's coming your way, and it made me think about some things. And I had a few football coaches back when I was in high school, and one of them would say all the time, "Don't worry about the things you can't control. You can only control your actions and what you do and how you react to them." And another one will always go along saying that life is 10% of about what happens to you, and 90% about how you react to it and how you react to conflict and situations. And for those of you that don't know him, Captain Jack Sparrow probably said it best of all. The problem's not the problem. The problem is your attitude about the problem. And I read all them things, and I began to think about Paul. And as Paul was standing before King Agrippa, he was talking to him there, and they was going back and forth. And Paul looked at King Agrippa, and knowing what was fixing to happen to him, and the circumstances why he was there. You can read that in Acts 26, I believe it is, and 25 is where it starts, 26 where it finishes up, and you can read that there. But Paul looks at him, and he says this one statement to King Agrippa. He says, "I think myself happy." And that is so easy to say. It is so easy to sit here and tell you that, oh, just think everything's going to be fine. Just think and be good, and everything will be good. And it's all going to be sunshine and rainbows and lollipops. And it's easy to say that, but that's a hard practice to live. It's a hard thing to do when things ain't going the way that you thought they should. When you've worked your life hard, and maybe you own a business and it's suffering now, or maybe you're afraid of this virus and what it's doing, and it's easy to sit back and say, okay, just think on the happy things and everything will be fine. And it's easy to say that, but it is so hard to practice trying to be happy when all there is rain and gloomy skies ahead, seems like. But we need to focus on those things. And when I thought about Paul, and I'm going to read this scripture to you and talk about it for just a few minutes. I won't take up a whole lot of your time. I begin to think about over in Philippians chapter number 4, I believe it is, and it says this. It says, "Be careful for nothing, but in everything give thanks, or in everything by prayer and supplications with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known unto God. Time out real quick. Me and my family this week during our family devotions, and I would encourage you, if you can try to have a family devotion with your children and talk to them. We've been talking about thankfulness. Parents, Sunday school is a great thing. And not just parents, but older people should go to Sunday school and learn more scriptures. But Sunday school was never God's plan B for your children to learn the scriptures and learn how to be a Christian and learn what's right. Parents, it is your responsibility to teach your children and to bring the scriptures to them and show them the scriptures. Sunday school is great. You should take your kids to Sunday school, and they should learn from Sunday school. And Sunday school teachers, I'm thankful for Sunday school teachers and the ones that teach my children. I'm thankful that they have those. And oftentimes I can teach my children all week long, and they get nothing from what me and my wife try to instill in them. But a Sunday school teacher takes 45 minutes and drives the point home all the time, and it's great. But parents, you should take that time out and teach your children the scriptures. And we've been talking about thankfulness all week with my children, and about how they need to be more thankful about things. And this right here is to be careful for nothing and everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving. Let your requests be made known unto God. And the peace of God, which passeth all understanding, shall keep your hearts and minds through Christ Jesus. Finally, my brother, moreover, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things of good report, if there be any virtue, if there be any praise, think on these things. You know, he's telling us here, first off, that we need to be thankful for the things that we have. Be thankful for stuff, and just minute things, be thankful for it. And he says, when you do this, and you make your request be known unto God, and you ask God for help, he says that the peace of God, you know, it takes a special type of peace when things are falling apart to be comforted. It takes something special on the inside of you that when it seems like, you know, everything around you is being destroyed, and everything that you've worked for and everything you struggled for in life is falling apart. When your health is deteriorating, when you're losing a loved one, or someone has just passed, it takes a special type of peace, knowing that maybe the situation's not peaceful, but that there's a peace on the inside of you that speaks to you and says, hey, it's going to be okay. That when this thing is all gone, it's going to be fine. It says that the peace of God, which passes all understanding. It makes no sense sometimes how someone that is a Christian, a child of God, can have that peace. I mean, their life could be in turmoil, problems come away, and to the average person from the outside looking in, it just baffles them how we can trust in God like we do in bad situations. I encourage you all to do that, to trust in Him, because He's able to keep your hearts and your minds. He's able to keep those stresses and those anxieties that we have on the inside of us. He's able to keep those to us. And it's something to know the peace speaker, the one who can step out on the edge of the ship and just speak to the waters and calm the waves in the storm. And it's awesome to have that type of relationship. But he goes on to say this, and I want to speak about these, and I'll quit for today. Finally, my brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue. So you think about these things: the truth, honesty, just, pure, lovely, and things that are of good report. Those are the things that you need to think on in these times. If you think on those things, and not everything that the media is cranking out, not everything that you read on Facebook, not everything that you see at 5 o'clock when Andy Beshear, our governor, is on there speaking the news, that's always gloom and doom and tragedy. And there's nothing wrong with us being current and being up on current events and knowing these things. But it seems like so often we drift toward negative thoughts and negative comments, and it seems like Facebook just gets in there and it dwells on people's minds, and social media sucks people in. They begin to think about how bad things are, and if you ever watch YouTube videos or ever read anybody's comments on Facebook, it seems like all the comments are always negative and horrible, and how they done something wrong and not on the good things, and it do us all good for a little while to sit back and see all the good things that's going on right now. You know, we've seen a outpouring of help for other people right now, of how you know, there's been all sorts of places, hospitals that are getting finances from places, and masks and equipment to keep their place clean and sanitized. And if we start thinking about those good deeds that's going around, you know, when there's a celebration of birthdays and they're getting a bunch of people, and I've seen where fire trucks have went to kids' birthday parties and drove around because they can't get together and celebrate. And it's awesome to see those things. And you know, maybe it's that phone call from your neighbor that you had to check on you to see if you need anything. You know, in these times when things are stressful, is the times that we need to think on the good things in life. And parents, let me just leave you with this. And I'm no expert on raising children. I've got mine about half grown, I believe, and I've just begun to teach them things, seems like. But from what I've gathered and from what I can see, parents, this is the time that you'll teach your children character. You'll teach them how to react when things don't necessarily go their way, because life is full of disappointments. It's hard, and you know that, and you've experienced it as a parent. But this is our chance to show our children how to react when stressful things come, how to react when, you know, life throws you a curveball, and how to react when, you know, your plans aren't working out because of the circumstances. And, you know, we're at a time now that everybody's life has changed just a little bit. My wife, for those who know, she's a teacher. She hasn't been to work since, you know, I can't remember when. She's been at the house. You know, she teaches school, but now she's doing school online with her students at school, and then she's doing our kids' homework at home, and everybody's a little tighter than usual. And I love my family. I love being there with them, but honestly, we all get to the point where we're just like, this ain't normal, and I'm ready for life to go back. And instead of stressing out about all the little things that's going on, let's focus on these things. You say, what things? Things that are true, honest, just, pure, things that are lovely, things that are of good report. We need to think on these things. Those are the things that's going to help us through this time. Not all the negative, and not all the belly aching about how things are going wrong, and that you don't like what's going on, how things should be different, whether you believe one way or another about the economy situation. Let's think on the positive things about how we're actually so blessed that to have the things we have, and to be thankful throughout all this time that God is in control of it all, and that we put our faith in Him, and we don't put our faith in men because they'll let us down, but that we trust God to take care of us. So you think on these things, turn the news off for just a little while, and you think about all the good things you have around you, and that will help you to be happy in this time. Thanks for watching.